All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You could go outside probably within 10 minutes, maybe a half hour, you would hear a siren, right? You can turn on the news right now. Inevitably, you're going to see, especially with this thing going on in Boston. Our first responder, that word first responder applies to so many different groups. It applies to the firefighters, the rescue workers, the police deputies and highway patrol, et cetera, et cetera. And quite often, they have a thankless job, especially when the politicians drag what they do into the whole thing, and then taxpayer comes into the whole thing. And I remember my dad, who was a New York City policeman, would come home sometimes, and he would. I learned the word thankless when he would talk about how he felt that the job was thankless and people didn't quite get what they had to do and what they go through. I'm proud to say I have many people in my family who are considered first responders, and so I really think that they have a place in our society that we wouldn't have a society without them, and I'm not alone in feeling that, which is good. And I can say it on the microphone all I want, but when you get a bunch of bikers together to kind of demonstrate it, it really makes a statement, doesn't it?
It's an impact.
And in the studio, some friends actually. Russell Pace has been in this studio many times before. Mostly, maybe he's been without the veteran show, but mostly he's been on Hank Whittier's Veterans Program. He's here today with his beautiful wife, Bridget, and with their handsome friend, Chris Graham, and the three of them are here, and they're all bikers. And they're with a group called ABATE. I think that, do I say that right? I'm never sure if you're supposed to say ABATE or ABATE. It doesn't matter.
There's no way to say it.
Doesn't matter. It's an acronym. It means American Bikers Aiming Toward Education, and they're of the Florida. I guess it's a Florida group. Yeah, they'll correct anything I got wrong. And tomorrow there's an opportunity for us to all help them help our first responders. So let me turn around and look at them so I don't feel so rude here. It's just the way this board is built. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for coming. Hey, Russ, how you doing?
Good morning. Good to see you again, Larry.
So what's tomorrow? What are we doing? What are you guys doing?
I'll let
Bridget talk.
Bridget, president of ABATE here.
You didn't say much. You just tossed it over already, huh?
Well, I'm Bridget Pace.
Hi, Bridget.
I'm the local president of Forest Chapter of ABATE of Florida Incorporated.
Forest
and you were
Chapter.
right in that we are in Florida alone, but ABATE is national, and each state is separate.
Oh, okay.
Some
okay.
have lobbyists, some don't. Just to give you a little bit of history on that.
So you do
part.
have the long A, the ABATE, right?
That's the way I say it.
Okay,
But
okay.
you were not incorrect in the way you said it either.
Really?
Depends on where you're
oh,
from.
it's one of those. It's tomato, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That we're having a first responder run tomorrow, and what that's for is we've included that in our May Days celebration, 22nd anniversary of our chapter. And what we decided each year we do something a little different. Last year we had a car, bike, truck show. This year our legislative trustee Russ Pace came up with the idea that hey, we need to do something in the community to thank our first responders. They're first on the accident scene,
There you go.
and they can make a big difference when one of our brothers or sisters goes down.
Oh, yes. When any of us go down, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, biker or not, right? I'm a sedan guy. I want to be helped, too. Yeah. So, Russ, what's your new title? What did she say?
Well, I'm the legislative trustee. We have
Wow.
several board positions.
That sounds
in
impressive.
ABATE.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of structured ABATE to mirror our own government, with or any organization.
I got you,
We have a
uh-huh.
president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, sergeant at arms, all that in an organization. ABATE, for those who didn't know, actually got its starts back in like around 1971. If you remember Easy Riders magazine.
I do.
Yeah.
I read the
editor-
articles, actually.
Yeah.
We still have those at home.
I've got a bunch too. I've got several years worth. Lou Kimsey, I think was his name. He was one of the editors, and he saw a need for bikers to kind of collect together and stand against some of the injustices that were going on against them. Primarily at that time, if you remember the old chopper motorcycles,
Yeah.
had the big extended front ends and all that.
Right.
Well, he was instrumental in helping fight for the rights of bikers to be able to have those kind of machines.
Oh, wow.
And they went the money they initially collected when they started their organization went towards paying for engineers to show that it was safe and all this. And so had it not been for that push, there never would have been any choppers. They would have been made illegal. And that's kind of like how ABATE got a start. So it's to, you know, like we said, we're a motorcycle rights organization. So, you know, we stand for the rights of all riders, whether they're members or non-members. Anybody who rides two-wheeled, three-wheeled vehicle, we want to see that they're treated fairly and that laws are enacted, or any laws that are enacted are fair to everybody.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Yeah, the bikers came into the news, I guess it was yesterday, because of the bombing in Boston. The funeral for one of them, maybe more than one of them, was going to be, I don't know if they were successful, protested by that nasty group out of Topeka, Kansas. You know what I'm talking about? And the bikers typically will form a little barricade and put up the American flag, and then that way the family having a funeral doesn't have to witness this stupid protest go.
You're talking about Patriot Guard.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, and somebody called to tell me the name, but yes.
Yes.
So are you guys part of that too? Is it?
No.
Are you part? Okay.
No, we're part of ABATE.
Okay.
And we are over 7,000 strong in the state of Florida alone. And we represent over 1 million bikers in Florida alone. So
they could, the people you represent could be part of more than one group then.
Yes.
oh yeah, we have
Yeah.
many people from
Okay.
all walks of life. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have club members, we have non-club members, which would be independent riders. So
Well, and see the connection with the first responders, the thing that you're doing tomorrow, it really hits home for anybody really.
Sure.
I mean, who hasn't had a need for a first responder at one point in their life?
oh sure.
Yeah. So are you guys, Chris? Are you Chris? Right? Are you a first responder? Yeah.
No, actually, I'm recently been appointed news editor for ABATE.
Oh, really?
I'm actually an ABATE board member myself.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
nice.
And we found out definitely that I am the youngest in history for Forest Chapter. So
Wow. So where do you guys meet? In the forest somewhere?
no, we meet at Charlie Horse every first Saturday of the month at 9:30 a.m.
Right down the road here?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. They open up for us and serve us a nice, inexpensive breakfast.
Oh,
and,
wow.
You know, give us all the fans that we need if it's hot out, or
Yeah.
heaters if it's cold, and they're very friendly to us and wonderful, and we absolutely love them with all our hearts. And
Wow.
our board meeting meets at the end of the last Thursday of every month, and I think we just moved it to Schnitzel Factory. Am I correct?
The next one will be at the Schnitzel Factory.
Oh, wow.
That's a great place.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have fun.
Yeah.
They have
So- so
Lederhosen
you-
in there.
Are you gonna? Yeah, you're gonna trade. Well, the dirndl will be for the lady, right?
Yes,
Dirndl?
right.
So will you trade your leather for dirndl when you go to the Schnitzel factory?
Oh.
I know Russ won't wear a lederhosen. I know that. But see, the dirndl is kind of cute. You know what the dirndl is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might like that.
I lived in
It's an
Germany.
idea. Maybe I'll see if I can get one online.
The lederhosen, forget about it. Russ, you'll
It's not me.
as a Marine, you'll never wear a lederhosen.
I don't. think I
You know, honestly, I
correct
wish
there,
I
Larry.
could find my old
Surprise.
hat from Germany.
Really? You have one.
All right, so tell us tomorrow. It's 9 a.m. at McPherson.
Yes, 9 a.m. at McPherson Complex, and what it is each year the governor of the state proclaims May as Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month, and that goes hand in hand with what we're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
A big part of ABATE is not only being a motorcycle rights organization, not a club, we're an organization.
Right.
Is safety and awareness. We try to inform the public, educate the public on bikers, what they are. So many people walk into a restaurant and see me in this black leather vest, and right away they're thinking of like Hell's Angels,
Angels.
or a
Really?
biker club,
I'm
or
gonna
One
get a leather
Percenter
vest.
as well as known. And that's not the case. Like Bridget said, many of us come from all walks of life, and majority of accidents, over 2/3 of the motorcycle accidents, are not the rider's fault. It's in most cases, it's the driver of another vehicle.
Yeah. I'm sure it
that
is.
doesn't see the rider coming, and they're doing a left-hand turn. Majority of accidents are caused by that. So
I hate, when I do the news, I see those stories. It's like, oh no. It's
I know.
You just
I didn't
feel
see
bad
him.
for
I didn't
everyone.
see him. That's the word.
You reference Robin being a biker chick. She's got a set of sad stories when she and her husband used to go back and forth to Daytona.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
couple of those stories where, they
We
they
all
lost
do.
friends. though.
Tragic,
I'm sure
yeah.
you do.
I'll do.
Yeah, it's one of the sad things about being a biker.
Yeah,
One,
so the county commissioners are going to, deliver the proclamation. It's, what the governor states, declaring May as Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month, and it's
Yeah.
signed by all the commissioners, and they present it to ABATE of Florida because we're especially in this county here, we're primarily responsible for safety and awareness to educate people, to try to pull all the bikers together here, and make a stand that, hey, we want to be noticed. The roads could be so much safer if more people would take the time to, look once, look twice, look 3 times, that kind of thing. So we want to put out that kind of word to everybody.
Campaign worthy of just keep doing it. That's the only way to make that successful, is to keep doing it. It's just you can't ever let up on saying that message, especially to the new drivers, young drivers.
Absolutely.
And that's what's nice about the new motorcycle laws now, is that you have to take some kind of a course to be certified, and then you have to prove it when you go down to get your motorcycle license. They have to take you out and make sure that you are able to operate the machinery. So many people think all they have to do is just jump on it and pull the throttle and you're off.
Here's a graph. There's a graph right here.
Okay.
That goes from year 2000 to 2010. And the black line is crashes, the yellow line is injuries. And you notice that if you recall, we changed our helmet law. We still have a helmet law,
Right.
but it's changed in 2000. I think July 2000. Governor signed the bill, passed
What do you mean
it.
we still have a helmet law?
Well, we call it. We didn't do away with helmets. What it is any rider 21 and older, as long as they have proper insurance, $10,000 of medical coverage, they're allowed to ride without a helmet. So there are still a helmet law. If you're below the age
I guess
of
I
21,
didn't know
you
that.
should wear a helmet.
I didn't know that part of
Freedom
it.
of choice, helmet law.
Okay, but you have to have the insurance to have the choice.
Correct,
Exactly.
or health insurance. Correct.
Okay. The Tilted Killed and the Evil Monkey are on here too, so I want to make sure we get them in there. But let's go to the phone first, and maybe you have a question from a listener. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Robin, and your guest. I had a very scary experience the other day. I'm riding down, I believe it was Pine, and I wanted to turn on 10th Street, make a left turn on 10th Street. Looking down the road, and I'm looking to make a left turn. There's this big pickup truck coming up. And I don't see anything behind it. I've been watching. And it all of a sudden decides to make a left turn, right there onto 200 going west. And I did not see anything behind the truck. I didn't see any other cars. It was just a truck. So I get ready to pull out to make my left turn. And when he pulled over to make his left turn, lo and behold, there's a motorcycle. And with the vehicles that are on the road today, I think it makes it harder to see an oncoming motorcyclist. And I wish years ago you used to have restrictions on trucks like in parking lots and stuff, but today that seems to be the vehicle of choice, is a big pickup truck. And I just wanted to share my experience with what happened there. I consider myself a careful driver. I haven't had any accidents since I'm in Florida. I haven't even gotten a parking ticket. But the point of the matter is, with the vehicles on the road today and the variety of vehicles, it makes it even harder to see an oncoming motorcyclist. And I'll I'll hang up and you can comment on that. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right. You guys want to comment on that one?
Yeah, I'd like to. I want to thank your caller who called in there. I want to thank him for looking twice, because if he didn't look twice, he would have been able to save a life. And one of our slogans is look twice and save a life. Through our safety and awareness program, we have billboards out there. We have bumper stickers to remind motorists. And keep in mind, we are all motorists, including bikers.
That's true, yeah.
And sometimes we get separated. In the course that you mentioned previously, which is an awesome course, we're taught some driving tactics, riding tactics, if you will. We have 3 lanes within 1 lane. And we're also taught to create space, keeping the other drivers, the motorists, mirrors, so we create more visibility. Sometimes you'll see some of us moving our head. Sometimes you'll see us moving our steering wheels, which creates the sun to glisten off. Those are all measures that we learn in those courses. And, we're not a fixed object anymore. If somebody's sitting there, get ready to make, especially left turns, which is one of the number one causes of deaths and serious injury to motorcyclists, because there's more blind spots for motorists. But simply put, this gentleman obviously took the time and looked that second time, and he did save a motorcyclist's life.
Yeah, and that's a big part of this graph here. It's having a direct effect because of safety and awareness, and because of the requirement for you to have motorcycle training prior to getting, the endorsement.
Right.
We had a steady increase there for a while, but as you can see, it's starting to decline, the number of accidents.
So it makes
and
a
injuries,
difference, yeah.
because it makes a big difference. And that's a big part of our mission, is because the more we can educate other drivers, as well as educate cyclists, and make sure that we're constantly, using those methods and tactics for our own survivability on the road, that this will continue to decline. And that's what our hopes is for.
Now, once the county commission declares that May is Biker Safety Month, or the actual title,
It's a statewide effort that ABATE of Florida Incorporated, several years back, got the governor of our great state to proclaim the month of May each year.
But I mean, are there things happening all month long that, like, similar to the one you're doing tomorrow?
Well, this is to kick off the month of May as
Okay.
Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month. We are doing it on a local level and with the support of the county commissioners, which we're blessed to have a very strong commission support with ABATE of Florida Incorporated here locally.
Yeah. Who was the commissioner that used to ride a bike? He was always controversial. What was his name?
Was it Randy Harris?
No.
Can't remember.
Oh,
No,
it's
I
just-
don't think so.
I can't think
Anyway,
of it.
somebody will call in and
Rings
remind
don't.
us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What do you say to the parents of the students that want to get a motorcycle, because that's their first line to their first hurdle to go through in order to get a motorcycle?
Training.
Mm-hmm.
The safety training is critical, and lots of practice to get your experience before you go out there on the roadway.
Because you've always got bad automobile drivers and you've always got bad motorcycle drivers. You can't get away from any of that, but the bad ones are so few as compared to the good ones.
You have to assume that you're invisible when you're riding out there, which you really should be in your regular vehicle anyway. You
Right.
should always be looking for somebody who's looking right at you to pull out in front of you. And if everybody
That's right.
did that, there would
Yeah.
be less accidents.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but good luck getting that to happen. Ever since I started driving, I've driven a car with a broken speedometer. I've never had a car. I've never had a car that worked. I don't understand it.
Nice. So you're always driving with the flow of traffic? Even if it's
No,
speeding?
mine says
Ooh.
55, and everybody else is going right past me. So I always figure, well, what the heck? What's wrong with my speedometer?
There are some cases that you need to speed up and go above the speed limit to go around traffic or whatever to create safety. Sometimes you have to.
Certainly.
Okay, just kind of focusing on the thing tomorrow. So tomorrow you're meeting down at McPherson, and then you're going to visit the first responders?
Right.
And are you delivering something to them? You just driving in and saying hi?
Well, we're going to have business cards that help explain what
Okay.
ABATE is about.
Okay.
And actually, I'm personally going to go in and shake every one of their hands,
Oh, wow.
because I feel that they do a tremendous job in this county trying to help out. I actually got a chance to talk with one of them a little prior to this and asked him a few questions, and the answers that he gave, were just amazing. I asked him what he would do first if he came across a accident where a motorcyclist is involved and they're
Right.
wearing a full face. He says if their breathing seems to be impaired, he will take that helmet off to save their life. Otherwise, he will do everything he can before taking off that helmet. And just hearing that from him and not even prompting him, it was just amazing.
He knew enough
He
to
knew
know what to say.
exactly.
I wouldn't have known what to say there.
He said that he sits there and trains all his guys, and he's constantly training. If there's an accident and he can get out there, he's out there right behind his guys going, whoa, hold up, before you do that, do this. slow down,
There you go.
think.
And a lot of times people want to do the best things and they do the worst things. So it's
Right.
good to be educated. Just on a side note, I suppose, are you any of you know or aware that there's a piece of the steel beam from the World Trade Center in Ocala?
No,
No,
was
I
not
didn't
aware
know
of
that.
No. Well, you will see it if you visit the Ocala Fire Rescue Fire Station right by Tuscaloosa Park.
Okay.
You know, the one
Yeah, right where
just
it is.
this side
I
of
know
it?
it is.
Brian Studhoff is the one who told us about it.
Oh,
I
awesome.
can't remember his title. I always forget his title. Real nice guy over there. And so you just walk in there. It's under a plexiglass case. It's only about they cut it. You know, it's just
Sure.
it's symbolic. And so
Absolutely.
it's just about this, like a foot square or whatever.
Yeah, I have to
and
stop
it's
by and see that.
yeah, and it hits you because you realize that piece of steel represents the first responders that made history on September 1st of 2000, September 11th of 2001, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you'll see it tomorrow when you walk in there.
It's in that building next to where the fire trucks are.
Well, we are
Yeah.
actually going to have
Yeah.
packs.
Thank you. He knows about microphones.
We're actually going to have packs that are going to split up from the center of McPherson as soon as we receive that proclamation. They're going to go right out because we want to do our best to cover the entire county. If you look at a map where fire rescue and police and where everybody is spread
Good
out,
for you, yeah.
we have the largest county in the entire state.
Yeah.
Bridget, did you start out on the back of Russ's bike, or did you always have your own bike?
I started out on the back of
You
his.
did?
Yeah.
And you got sick and tired of him driving.
Yeah. I've
Scared him too
been on
much.
my own for 10 years, so with all his travels, I'm not sitting home anymore. I gotta
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Now I have a question. I've often thought, I don't know if this actually helps, but if you're riding together as a couple,
Right.
and you're kind of equally distant apart, so that somebody ahead looks in the rearview mirror, almost looks like a car. At nighttime especially. Does that actually create a safer situation for you, or not? Does it not really matter?
I'm not sure I understand the question. You're talking about if
In
a
other-
car
in the-
driver looks in the rearview mirror and they see two lights.
Or coming at you? Well,
Coming at you.
because a lot of times the excuse after an accident was, I didn't see him.
Right.
Okay, so if there are two of you, it looks like a car.
It sure does. It can.
Yeah.
To a person, it'll see two headlights.
I don't know if that was maybe something that you say when you're riding in pairs, go side by side as opposed to front to back.
Well, the idea of that the safest formation to have when you're riding multiple motorcycles is, you have a high side and a low side, the high side being closer to the center of the lane. And that person will lead. And then you're like 2 seconds behind, but on the low side. And then that, as Bridget explained earlier, there are 3 lanes. And you use those for survivability and for positioning to avoid road hazards and for visibility. Like the gentleman that called in said that he did not see that motorcycle behind that other vehicle.
Right.
Well, in many cases, a lot of times as a motorcycle rider, you can make yourself a little bit more visible with
I
a vehicle
see.
that might obstruct immediately in front of you by taking one lane or the other. Many times when you come up on an intersection, if you're riding on the high side and you have a bigger vehicle here and you know there's an intersection there, it might benefit you to swerve into the low side lane so that car waiting at the intersection doesn't pull right out after that big vehicle passes.
Gotcha.
Because when
Yeah.
you pull in there, he'll see you. But this is many of the things you learn in the techniques, during your training on survivability. And like Robin was saying earlier, many young kids are attracted to motorcycles because number one, they're relatively inexpensive compared
Yeah.
to a car,
Right.
and they're very economical on fuel. But the thing is, not all people should be riding motorcycles. It takes a lot of you have to be mature. You have
That's
to
why
be
I have a sedan.
alert. You have to be focused. There are so many things, and if you know that you don't have the discipline and the attentiveness, you always got to be alert. You got to read the road constantly, and you got to have that zone around you
Yeah.
of maneuverability to avoid accidents. One of the advantages to a motorcycle is braking's not always sometimes the best option.
Right.
It might be to outmaneuver something that gets in your path or crossing your path. And with a motorcycle, you have the maneuverability and the power to do that in some cases.
Well,
But like Bridget said, it takes a lot of experience. You pick these things up the longer you ride, and hopefully you survive long enough and gain enough road savvy and wisdom to be able to avoid accidents. But as I said earlier, 2/3 of the accidents that happen in general are not the motorcyclist's fault.
Right.
Well, and reading the news, that's not just our opinion. That's the fact, according to the Florida Highway Patrol.
Right.
just by reading the news. Okay, so tomorrow, we're speaking to two groups of people right now, right? We're speaking to other motorcyclists, and we're speaking to the rest of us who can help out some way, right? Do we help out just by showing up? How do we help the non-motorcyclists?
Well, number one would be looking twice to save a life.
But I mean,
That
as
would
far
be-
as tomorrow goes.
Tomorrow, as tomorrow's goes, we're going to be riding around in Marion County. Please look out for us. We'll be riding in smaller packs.
Okay.
In an effort not to block any first responders' comings and goings in case of an emergency. Everybody will be getting instructions to stay out of their way, and if we're in the middle of talking to them and they got to go, they got to go. So, and it's just an effort to go out there and praise them and thank them for everything they do. And put a human touch to the biker
There you
face
go.
in our
Oh, that's
community.
wonderful.
And
Yeah.
then afterwards, we're going to Tilted Kilt. They're sponsoring our May Day's 22nd anniversary party celebration.
Nice.
And Evil Monkey is the band that plays for us. They're honorary members. And I believe Vance Lee's playing also. He's a guitarist. He'll be
planning on
breaking
being
them.
there.
We've got bike games. We've got a poker hand table for
Bike
$5.
games.
This is the
Wait a
fun
minute.
side of it.
I heard about a bike game.
Chris could tell you more than that.
Tell me about the bike game. I heard about one. I want to hear something. Is there one? There's a hot dog hanging from an arch or something.
I have heard that one from the owner.
I
of
want to
Tilted
see this
Kilt.
one.
Yeah.
In the past, the owner of the Tilted Kilt, his name's Nefty. He is also the manager. I'm sorry. He is also a member of ABATE. Just recently signed up. He's had a balloon toss or balloon limbo basically for motorcycles, but instead of the stick going down, it goes up. And the object would be to have a back rider toss the water balloon over the bar and catch it without it busting while the motorcycle's doing a slow ride.
Oh wow, that's
There was
cool.
that sounds like fun.
a beam cross where the object is to get from one side of the beam to the next without falling off the bike. And that,
Ooh.
I mean, not off the bike, but
off the beam. Yeah.
And the beam
Ooh.
goes from wide
Oh.
to very skinny.
Oh.
So it's really tricky.
Are you guys gonna? This is at the Tilted Kill. I thought that was an indoor restaurant.
It's indoor outdoor.
Indoor, outdoor.
They have a patio.
I
They have a
didn't-
large parking area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we can watch this fun tomorrow. So we'll go to
Absolutely.
Tilted.
Absolutely, all's
Oh
welcome.
yeah.
Evil
Everybody
Monkey.
is.
Look at the name, Evil Monkey. All right. Well, good to see all of you. Thank you. You guys make a big difference for all of us. I know, Russ. I know just from listening to your stories what you contribute. So,
I appreciate it.
and your daughter was in here one time too, promoting something she was doing.
Yeah. She was
Right.
doing a joint effort with the Rothenbergers on training girls.
Or for modeling.
for acting and
Oh,
modeling.
right. Oh, that's
And
right.
she's
That's right.
also an ABATE member for 4 years now.
Yeah,
She a biker?
rides
She's
herself.
nominated for
Oh,
our
no.
president of our local chapter next.
So,
Oh, wow.
you're
Yeah.
bikers, but
Nice.
were you nervous when your daughter became a biker?
No, both of our daughter and son have been riding since they've been in my tummy. So they started at 16.
Doesn't count. That part doesn't count.
They were born on a motorcycle, basically.
We're a family of bikers. We all ride.
Oh, yeah, all
And
together.
I worry about them, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
But
right.
I feel strong that they do the best they can because they do have the right attitude. They do have the right mindset when they're riding. They're not reckless or careless. Most accidents that happen that are the motorcyclist's fault is number one due to speed. They just go too fast, and you get into a situation you don't have enough time to react or stop or anything. And unfortunately, many people with the wrong attitude or don't have the maturity. That's what gets them in trouble. Is that speed.
And if a person wants to become a member of ABATE, and can they just come to the Charlie Horse during your meetings, or can they call you or sign up somewhere?
Our meetings are open to the public because we have a lobbyist. We're always open to the public. They
Oh.
can come to a meeting anytime they want. They can come to a board meeting anytime they want. We also are on the web. We have a web address. We have a Facebook address that has some really cool pictures.
Yeah, I like
on
those
there.
pictures.
Yeah, Russell created that Facebook page.
If you want to find the Facebook page,
Really?
it's
not
ABATE
a-
of Florida Incorporated.
Oh, I got to do that. I haven't
Dash
done that.
Forest chapter. Yeah, there's quite a bit of information
Really?
on there.
And you said that you went to Tallahassee on Monday?
Yes, our Freedom Rights Rally. Every year we have Freedom Rights Rally. We go up to, and we're actually escorted once we hit the city limits into the Capitol, on the Capitol steps with our motorcycles. We have a huge flag that, do you know that
dimensions
Size.
of
Yeah.
it. No, it covers up the whole Capitol
The
steps.
whole
I know that.
steps.
Wow.
I mean, they
It's
have
a
to
huge
parade
flag.
up the steps.
Wow.
And then we
Wow.
have police and fire and all our armed services are holding a flag. And we do a ceremony, a bell tolling ceremony that for every lost brother and sister throughout the year that we have lost in memory of them. Then we go into the Capitol. And then we visit with all of our legislators. And currently we have been pushing, well, actually the last several years, we've been pushing a stiffer penalties bill for bicyclists, pedestrian, and motorcyclists.
Is Governor Scott a biker?
Not that I know of.
You know what you could do? You could say to him, when you get him, you could say, you could be a biker, you could feel the wind blowing through your hair, then stop and say, oh, well, never mind.
Never mind.
Just to-
Don't need any wannabes.
Thank you all for what you're doing, and thank you for coming in here today. Have fun tomorrow, be safe, and we'll be on the lookout for you, as always, and come back.
Yeah, well, we thank you for having us.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to
You're
meet you,
welcome.
Chris. All right, we'll take a little break, and we will be right back.
In specialty crop news from the Southeast AgNet, well, we're going to pick back up a series of reports regarding the newest efforts of the Fresh from Florida campaign, as Susan Ardizzi, Director of Marketing with the Florida Department of Agriculture, gives us more details regarding the campaign designed to raise awareness of locally grown fresh from Florida products.